Wish I could spend all of my time with you. Hello, welcome back to Learning Curves. I'm Anastasia, and today I want to talk to you about 5 types of maternal love. Would this video have been more appropriate last weekend? Yes, but myself and my babies, and actually one of my babies wasn't sick. Anyway, the rest of us were sick. I'm sure there are all kinds of maternal love, but in my journeys as a mother, I have experienced 2 types, and I would like to share those with you. Did I say 2 types? 5. It's 5 types. Numbers are hard. Being a mom feels different than I expected it would, and it also feels different day to day. And while I always love my children, the way that I love them, I've realized changes. And so today I want to talk about 5 different types of maternal love that we experience as mamas. I mean, Papa's probably feeling them too, but Mother's Day, so we're just gonna. So the first one I want to talk about is actually where the idea for this video came from, and that's when a friend of mine was talking about how her baby had been homesick and she felt like she just couldn't get any space from her kid, you know, when you're always there, and she works from home and she couldn't take the day off. So she was working and mom working, and she didn't have a hand free. She just was being driven crazy the entire day. And then the next day I asked her how she was doing. We were also coworkers. The next day I asked her how she was doing, and she said, she was like, I miss her. And that I call Stockholm Syndrome love. That's the first type. Also known as Sour Patch Kid love, because so often little kids will be sour and then they'll be sweet. And we are suckers for it. We are suckers for it. Honestly, my kids are pretty good. I mean, one of them's 6 months, so you know what you're gonna do. But the 3-year-old, she doesn't act out often. But, you know, if there are times that my patience is really thin, worn thin, and she knows it and she pushes those buttons, if she turns around and is like, Mommy, I love you, or Mommy, you okay? It's like, oh yeah, I'm fine, you're right. Everything's fine, you're perfect. So number 1 is Stockholm Syndrome love, aka Sour Patch Kid love. Number 2 is kind of like number 1 in that it deals with when your kids are sick or hurt. And this one is called sadistic love. And it sounds awful, but they're the only time sometimes that your kids want to be held and loved on is when they're scared or hurting or sick. And it's awful. You don't want them to be scared or hurting or sick. But it's nice to have them hold on you and to hold on them. My husband and I, we absolutely fight over who will get to hold our 3-year-old if she falls down and hurts herself, or if she gets scared. We have ripped her out of each other's arms, and it has caused legitimate marital arguments. For number 3, I want to talk about one that kind of debunks a common myth, and that's I call this one the slow burn. You know, I remember before I had my first baby, my sister saying, oh my gosh, when you see that baby, you are gonna be so in love. And when I gave birth, the midwife helped put her on my chest, and I was just sort of, you know, in shock, like I'd just given birth. There's a human that came out of me. This labor journey was complete, and now there's a person, and there's a whole new journey starting. At some point, I noticed that I didn't immediately feel that, oh my gosh, I love this person. I mean, it was very much like, everybody get away. I need to figure this out. I needed space to figure this out. The love stick didn't slap me in the face. It skipped me and it went straight for my husband. That man got beat up by the love stick the moment he saw his firstborn. He did a lot of crying. You should watch my video about the daddy books. I'll link it. It's my Valentine's video to him. But in there, I share books that I've made for him every year for Father's Day. You can see in there one of the first pictures of him holding Isabel in the first book, and it's sweet. Check that out. Anyway, I had that experience of everybody get back. Just to, I mean, not literally, but I needed space. I guess protective is the word. Like, I felt protective, but it wasn't until 2 or 3 months postpartum that I really felt that that love. And that was scary. I thought I was broken. I was a bad mom. I did it wrong, but it just took me a while to get there. So number 4 is the one that I feel the weirdest about sharing. But if I'm doing this YouTube thing, I feel like I have to share it because I feel like it's going to be misconstrued and it's going to be really creepy. I call number 4 romantic love. I remember hearing from a lactation consultant at one point that kissing your baby is actually serves an evolutionary purpose. Your saliva takes in biological information from that baby and changes your breast milk to be better catered to your baby. So you're supposed to want to kiss your baby, is what I'm saying. And babies experience the world through their mouth. And there are times that she would, and I would just kiss on her mouth. You know, just kissing on that baby's mouth. And I wanted to hold her and I wanted to be close to her so badly, and skin to skin. So beneficial to mama and baby. And so there are reasons that all of this exists. I'm feeling really defensive, clearly, even though no one else is here telling me to feel defensive about it. I guess, whatever. But I wanted to like kiss on my baby and hold her and hug her and be close to her. And then, you know, in comes my husband like, oh yeah, let's kiss. And I'm like, no. These are not yours. I would ask you to tell me in the comments if you've also felt romantic love, but clearly I'm having a hard time admitting that I have felt it, and I decided to make this video. If you feel comfortable, I would love for you to help me feel supported and not alone. And number 5, this one I call Mama Bear Love. I know there are the shirts, there are the mugs, there are Mama Bears everywhere, it's everywhere, and there's a reason for it. There was a postpartum group that I was in with my first baby, of course not with my second baby because coronavirus, but with my first baby, we went around the room, we were supposed to talk about an animal that we identified with as moms, like what our spirit animal was as a mom. And I said a bear. I said, I know it's cliche, but I just feel like a bear. I feel super strong, but also cuddly with some extra skin, but also don't mess with my cubs. And the first time that I felt this protective, don't mess with my cub thing was, so my first baby, nope, that's the second one. My first baby, Isabel, was born towards the end of February. So in the spring, she was still really young and we had her in our backyard. And we were gardening. It was still very early spring, so there weren't a lot of bugs out. And I went over to say hi to her, and I saw a mosquito on her face. I actually don't even know there was a mosquito. It was a bug. I saw a bug, and a lot of thoughts went through my head in a split second. One, it was the only way to end this bug's life, which I have to, is to slap my child, and I couldn't quite do that. I should actually say I am a live and let live kind of gal, and we're outside. Bugs are going to be outside. Fine, whatever. But this bug lands on my baby's face, and I immediately needed to not only kill this bug, but to kill its family, its colony, everything it has ever known and loved. I wanted to go full insert movie reference with somebody who killed a lot of people. Rambo? Probably Rambo. I've seen those movies. I don't remember. I really wanted to like Hulk out and kill that bug and everything in sight. And I'm sure that there are other people have different definitions of Mama Bear love, but that's what I'm calling that one. That is what I'm calling that one. I am super soft and cuddly, but I have these claws that will absolutely rip you open if you try and come anywhere near my child. That's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like this video and please consider subscribing. I'll see you next time. Bye. The whole internet's gonna tell people that I go around making out with babies. And I do, my babies. Nobody